I'm calling the industry out and saying like, hey, it just so happens that there's been times where I had my lawyer was Jewish, my regulator was Jewish, but like 8 people that basically would collude and talk without me were in groups saying, okay, this is what the tour is going to be. This is his next house. And they were making all these decisions and they're making all this money. And at the end, I was like, I ended my tour and I don't have the money. And it just so happens that that's the case, that what they were. But what I'm saying is, if everyone can say, hey, you can't point out this fact, or we're going to say you're anti-Semitic and we're going to call you Hitler, I feel that there has to be at least 1% of safeguarding the ability to screw the artist based on saying it's anti-Semitic by pointing out that they just so happen to all be Jewish. And I don't think that's anti-Semitism. I just think that's, hey, this is another thing. Like, okay, the Kardashians, when you hear that, do you think male or do you think female? You think female. You get what I'm saying? You think this is the realities. This is why rap works, right? They're going to make an anti-women thing in a second, right? And it's going to say, well, if you point out that these 6 women are having a meeting on where the Christmas party is, and none of.
So we go from this is the thing. What I'm trying to say. He jumps from idea to idea, and it's some it could be for some hard to follow what his point is. But let's continue listening to see what he's trying to say. He's trying to create a bridge toward what he's a clear example. Let's put it that way.
None of the ball players or rappers that they have babies with have any say so that Christmas happened at Courtney's house all 8 years when I was there, and it never happened at anyone else's black family house, right? If I'm the one that pointed it out, they just don't have they don't have their, oh, you're anti-Semitic word to say shut the fuck up.
Yeah, but
because this is the way it runs, and this is the way we want to do it.
If you say
right?
that that women are silencing the black voice, yes, you're gonna get the same response. But especially if it historically resonates.
What about the fact that it's true?
When you talk in groups, that breeds hate. When you talk about individuals, it solves problems. You're in engineering.
Okay, but this is something I pointed out on Pierce. I said, if a black person gets pulled over.
Do you agree with that statement?
Not entirely. No, the second part I don't agree with entirely. The first part I do agree with. I would word it differently. If you generalize, you create problems. All men are like this, all women are like this, all black people are like this. So then you create problems. But if you talk about so that part I do agree with, but the second part I don't agree with. I don't agree. It's not like if I say, hey, KR did this, that's not necessarily going to solve any problem. If he says the Kardashians did this or Kim did this to me, then it wouldn't solve any problem. But I would word it differently. I would say I would formulate it in a negative way. Negative in the sense that I would say if you generalize, you create hate, or let's not use the word hate. Maybe we can use the word controversial. So controversy.
Controversy, yeah.
Controversy, but if you individualize, you don't create controversy. It's not like you solve a problem, but you don't create it, or at least even if you do, you minimize it because you're talking about this specific thing. So if Kanye would have said, this lawyer, and that's why I like watching Dame Dash interviews. This guy calls people out by name, first and last name. The lawyer, the business manager, everyone, name and last name. You know who he's talking about. It could be that they are all Jews. It could be that they are all black. It could be that they are all Chinese. But it's not. He's not talking about them because of their race. He's talking about them because they did something to him
as an individual.
as an individual. But he's not solving the problem, but he is minimizing the problem. He's talking about. So I would say Kanye would need to. No, what need to? He doesn't need to do anything. But
Good thing
I
you,
think
you added that.
if he, yeah, I'm not waiting for a 2 hour rant on, but that's gonna. But I think if he talks more, if he speaks more deliberately and also more concrete, then he would limit all the controversy that he's causing right now. But maybe he doesn't want that because it wouldn't put him on top of in the front page of the magazine. So he might be doing it deliberately. Who knows?
I'll continue.
With a car and it's three other people in the car, they're also going to jail. They're not going to single them out. They're going to say you guys are all in collusion. I just described collusion 5 times in this interview. And you keep on going back to this is like 1930. This is like this. This is like that. What I'm saying is, look, I want to work with you as an engineer to free my people. Can we start as a being with engineer opportunities right here?
Yes.
I am sorry to the people who had to be hurt and affected by that. Now we are here and I'm looking to solve it. But what happens is every time if I talk to any of these business people one by one, because mind you, I didn't get to the tweet by not having a conversation. I had the conversations beforehand before I got to the tweet. Now we're going to take it to the stage. Now we're on the world stage, right? And you saw Ari Emanuel do exactly the kind of thing that I was saying had been done behind closed doors. Now he's doing it in open doors. They told Candace Owens I couldn't be on the Daily Wire. Like, you can't even explain yourself. And we don't care how you got to that point either. And that's fucked up.
They told Candace you can't be on Daily
It's not
Wire.
even about, yes, she did. That's what they said. And you know what? And you can have my voice raised or lower. I'm going to do it lower, right? Because what's happening to me by, I put in your words, the media is saying, not only can you not explain yourself, we don't care how you got to that point. You need to apologize and you can't explain. And that's the end of the story. So just apologize so we can have Mel Gibson do some more films. Is exactly what Ari Emanuel was saying. No one is looking to change the problem that led so many people to that same level of frustration. And I just so happen to be the one that's not going to back up on it until this changes. Because you know what? I'm sorry I had a sleepy text. I'm sorry I wrote. I'm sorry for everything. I'm sorry that I put that I was 5'12" or 5'11" on Tinder. Okay, my cock is not 14 inches. I lied. Okay, it's only 13.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, right?
Yeah.
So the
Why he's dropping so many facts today.
so what I'm saying is, but where do we?
This is like the third time he said that in the interview or something like that.
Yeah.
About his genitals. Yeah.
All right.
So it's going all over the place. I don't know. I don't know how I can even talk about this without pointing it out that it's hard. You will have to. It's hard to follow everything he's trying to say.
Yeah. Well, I'll give you this. I'll give you this. it might be hard to follow and analyze, but you can say that it's not entertaining enough to keep to retain your attention.
Yeah.
And that is something that Kanye is good in. So he knows what, I don't know if he does it on purpose or not, but he knows deliberately or not, but he speaks in a way and does things and makes statements that keep people's attention.
Yeah.
Because I'm also trying to figure out where he's going. Didn't expect
To end up in Tinder and the size of
his genitals,
his
but
Johnson.
but he's a man. I mean, he came up as a producer and a rapper, so maybe it's a double entendre. We just need to wait for the punchline, I guess.
I guess.